beloved,
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 beloved.
Home. Among them, some of baseball's most beloved names. Most beloved names. Most beloved names. Musial, DiMaggio, Williams.
Hello. I am your beloved, beloved, beloved Count Olaf. And welcome.
keeping together.
My beloved husband was dying. Weeping with apology.
I was able to convince George D. to sit still for his monthly delousing.
My beloved family, they beheaded me, their beloved queen.
Felt like Mum and Dad still so in love, you, their beloved daughter.
I'm relieved you're here. I'm sorry Reverend Carter isn't. He is out burying a beloved member of our congregation.
If you will find a little house for us, somewhere by your beloved River Thames, but not too far from London town. That's good.
Great. 4 hours to decide if we sue the most beloved Democrat in America.
What if I told you that Duke Federico sacked your beloved Florence?
To our beloved JT, the only one of us too damn long who actually put cuffs on the guy he was chasing.
Vote.
Your vote on what?
His beloved helipad. He put the thing in his backyard 6 months ago.
I leave my beloved alibi room.
hardware,
hardware,
Hardware. Hardware.
hardware,
Memories shifting for thoughts.
This is your hardware.
Wetware.
Top of the line, recessed hardware, foam lining, 1/4-inch laminated walls, 3-inch casters.
Impressive. I missed the pattern.
That's right. The human brain. Lovely piece of hardware.
I'm very pleased with your progress, Frank.
Well, we can't take the risk of flattening our profits.
We can't have it both ways. I mean, you insisted on the most expensive hardware. The Mac was originally much cheaper.
Did you know my brother got spit on at the hardware store yesterday?
S-trap is cracked. I don't have one with me. I'll have to go to the hardware store.
Now it's late.
Oh, well, the water's just gonna keep seeping.
Excuse me, Mr.
Donnelly, Benjamin Donnelly, purveyor of sci-fi hardware for the discriminating enthusiast.
Bronson?
That's him.
What about the hardware module?
It's not in the car.
Anybody riding with him?
Yep.
Girlfriend?
Nope.
Party call you?
Yeah, huge power drain at the hardware store.
So what's the layout? 2-story, 1 employee, new guy named Todd.
Or coffee, pastries. The hardware store has a candy aisle.
We're not going out.
We could stay inside. I heard the hardware store delivers candy.
Look.
Hey, I upgraded the hardware. You should be able to incorporate that into the game.
You did this in 20 minutes?
Quicker than Domino's. Micah, that's an in-game communicator, so you...
We'll narrow it down, Dex. We need a model number. Maybe we can track it to a hardware store or an internet site.
I'll try the 22 ouncer.
Manacle.
manacle,
Manacle.
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 Fools.
What the hell is this?
And fathers and sons being manacled together. Manacled together. Manacled together.
Don't let it psych you out. Did that oxycontinence set in yet?
Manacles, and bloody instruments of torture.
It looks like your crazed, sadistic, psycho killer theory might not be far off, Castle.
Well, I don't know what it does.
I'm aiding and abetting the fuzz, and I'm the one in manacles? Manacles?
You ran 5 consecutive red lights.
I was apprehending a criminal.
They think you're the criminal.
If they're manacled to the floor, they'll die. There's 24 human beings.
It's much bigger than yours. And my lawyers are much stronger. And they will manacle you with so many injunctions. And
Which side you're going? Breathe out loud.
Just as a foreign recreant be led with manacles through our streets, or else triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin.
Exfoliation to interrogation. Manicure to manacles. Shiatsu to...
Lord Bolton will garrison here until we return.
Will I be wearing manacles when I lay my father to rest?
Abrasions to the pisiform. It's likely this person was wearing manacles.
Manuscript.
Manuscript.
Manuscript. Manuscript. Manuscript.
Likewise.
Oh, well, we're just working on polishing up my manuscript. My manuscript. My manuscript.
Man, I'm having more fun than you can imagine.
Oh, I don't know.
Why did you change your mind after he hit you?
Right, so if I punched you, you'd read my manuscript? My manuscript? My manuscript?
Jared hit me with his bare hand.
I was wondering if you had a chance to take a look at...
Your manuscript. Your manuscript. Your manuscript. Yes, indeed. And may I say, Dr. Sweets, that I think this is probably the best...
How's this walking the dog?
Mm-hmm.
So you read the manuscript, huh?
It's my job, Fred. Don't get mad. I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on you.
Intimately.
I mean, I know your work well. Is that your manuscript? Is that your latest novel? Yes.
Do what?
Well, that letter that you have framed in your office.
My first manuscript rejection?
Yeah.
I think pictures itself, really.
So we'll need to see a copy of that manuscript. Her investigations might have led to her death.
Well, there isn't one.
Well, Slater's murder was staged to look like a suicide. Then the killer steals his manuscript.
His editor found his body. The note was in the typewriter. She was coming by to collect the manuscript for his new book.
I can no longer live with the lies. So what's in the new manuscript?
It wasn't here.
We think you came to Boston to make sure that Ethan didn't burn that manuscript. And then when he wouldn't give it to you, you staged his murder to look like a suicide.
Hey, stop. 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 Okay, just go. Before you drop another priceless manuscript, why don't you go to face a Picasso or something?
Fitz, what are you doing?
Mailed me her file. Nancy Handelman was single. No living family, worked at the Library of Congress in the Manuscripts Division.
The Manuscripts Division.
Perimeter. Perimeter. Perimeter.
Perimeter.
Perimeter.
I see approximately 12 heavily armed men in perimeter 2.
Hat! Form a perimeter!
Or through the subway, you keep them off the streets. I need a perimeter as far back as 39th. Why the hell should I take orders from you?
Keep your eyes on the perimeter.
Scanning.
One of these towns, and it couldn't have gone further than 64 miles in any direction. I want everything you've got in that perimeter.
However, I shall be firing outside that perimeter.
Kerr, check this out.
That's the fence perimeter.
Light it up!
Now replace the hanger pole and leave.
All our defenses. Doubles on the perimeter. No one's getting past that wire.
Happening?
The perimeter picked up audio of Lena being beaten this afternoon.
It's very discreet.
All right, let's set up a perimeter when we get there. Nobody gets in or out.
Ain't no way here.
Which is why I got a bunch of Renner soldiers to secure the perimeter. It's amazing how cheap you can buy an army for in this country.
You go fishing?
Well, if you do go outside, be careful. There's a laser fence around the perimeter.
Neurotic. Neurotic.
Neurotic. Neurotic.
Neurotic.
Doctor tells me that I have a neurotic character. Neurotic character. Neurotic character.
Called.
You did?
I'd say he has a classic neurotic personality disorder. Neurotic personality disorder. Neurotic personality disorder. Yeah.
You know you don't have to do that, don't you? Juna is completely neurotic. Neurotic. Neurotic.
Great girl, big tits, long legs, who isn't crazy, or neurotic, or religious.
What that I can get in the next 3 hours.
I know I'm probably being completely neurotic, but all I could think of was his friend a girl?
He's touching. Observe Agent Rigsby. As neurotic as a border collie, he can't stop touching his face.
Alex, it's totally fine.
Really, I would understand it if you want to drop us neurotic lesbians.
Comes first. Maybe being a perfectionist is my own neurotic issue, and I know that I really need to work on that.
I've got something to complain about, too. Ted's nuts.
Okay, yes, Ted is a little neurotic, but I wouldn't say...
No.
She doesn't? That's sweet. No, and I think it's totally neurotic.
Compliments. I will not fall prey to society's desire to turn girls into emotionally insecure neurotics who
take my order. How can she take your order when you're too neurotic to talk to her?
Confine.
Confine. Confine.
Confine.
Confine.
On Monday, Anna will be confined to an institution that can properly address her needs.
I give you Sergeant Jack Freeman, masculinity incarnate. Led Pittsburgh SWAT for 5 years, now confined to a wheelchair. Confined to a wheelchair. Confined to a wheelchair.
We'll be in some confined spaces, especially as we move in.
How confined? How confined? How confined?
These tunnels up to 10.
It's disgusting. The mind of a man confined works differently than someone on the outside. He sees things different. The architecture is vertical.
The Secretary of State ain't going nowhere soon. Confined to his bed and slow to recover. Got himself a nurse.
You must be the Coopers.
Hey, yeah, this was supposed to be a petting zoo, a confined Australian petting zoo.
Yeah, it is. One of the pens was open and a kangaroo got out.
You're confined to the apartment 24 hours a day. There's no use of cell phones or internet-based communications.
She's to be supervised at all times, confined to quarters when not at work. Is that clear?
Mike was born with spina bifida, been confined to a wheelchair his entire life. For obvious reasons, he could not have executed the plan to pose as a maid, but his student...
None of this is going to be easy if we're confined to campus.
Hike.
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 Question. Do you like to hike? To hike? To hike? Because I was thinking maybe next Saturday I'd take you to this beautiful trail. It's about an hour north of here.
Yeah, sure.
A ride with a suspect in the back of the vehicle. It's policy.
So what am I supposed to do? Hike home? Hike home? Hike home? I'm in heels here.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just doing what we do.
Oh, cute. Right.
See, right here, that's a 6-hour hike, 6-hour hike, 6-hour hike, and there are no roads up there.
This time he had to drag her along with him.
Do you know where he liked to camp?
No.
Where he liked to hike?
I know.
Families ride horses together. They hike, roast marshmallows. They reconnect.
It's paradise. I signed us up for some scuba diving later, maybe a hike tomorrow.
Mr. Keener, I really appreciate you coming.
Oh, it's not that much of a hike. My room's only 6 floors up.
Good job. Second.
Infringe.
Infringe.
Infringe. Infringe.
Infringe.
Chummy is the registered trademark of our billionaire client, Chum Hum. You've infringed on their trademark. You've infringed on their trademark. You've infringed on their trademark.
Fair use.
Nice try.
So we've been going after the wrong thing.
We can't win defamation. That's about intent. We don't need intent to prove the studio infringed on Edelstein's right of publicity.
Why is that?
Did you prepare any meals for food allergies?
Objection, Your Honor. This testimony infringes on the Classified Information Procedures Act.
The composition of a meal does.
Yes.
And it was after this offensive that you were arrested?
Objection. This testimony may infringe on the Classified Information Procedures
Your Honor,
Act.
the government is denying this arrest even took place. How can it be divulging a...
Rights. The Supreme Court has even insisted on their personhood. My guess is they won't look kindly on your attempt to infringe on their attorney-client privilege.
Our client created the problem for which he's suing.
So what are we supposed to argue? The client only wanted his copyright infringed a little?
No, we pivot.
I assume, as always, my house will be the first thing you'll fight me over.
Why infringe on the beautiful memories of our first divorce by retreading the same duels during our second one?
Offset.
Offset. Offset. Offset.
Offset.
We offset the weight. Counts off all the time. If the police get lucky, they'll only get the driver.
I will work for NASA, and he'll do something completely different. So that we offset each other, you know?
Right. But we can offset a lot of that once we get a few customers and start a subscription revenue model.
What? So, totally offsets the stench of suffering and death.
A share per man. 2 for the captain, 2 additional for use of the ship, and 5 set aside in a fund to offset injury payments.
I won't go unless we offset what that'll cost with an hour's worth of betting.
Visual inspection of the mandibular offset in conjunction with the angle of the zygomatic and...
But we're still doing
it's a trade with Reese. The page views offset, the ratings drop.
Grease.
Grease. Grease. Grease.
Grease.
Ted, get ready to be surrounded by half-naked, grease-covered bodies. And by grease, I mean motor grease. We're going to robots versus wrestlers!
I'm on the list, and it's an odd one.
Grease. Grease. At the Farhampton Inn, we don't cook with grease. Our menu is organic, farm to table, locally grown. No grease.
Sir, I am from Minnesota, where every meal is cooked with grease, and my father dubbed that food the tastiest.
Tell me the hoarder has to grease his sides to get through the door. You won't have to get me a birthday present.
Tell him what we had was a passing flirtation. Tell him now it's over and he has to move on.
Got it. You died in a grease fire.
Got it, got it, got it. Grease puddle. Got it, got it, got it.
Roach.
Got it.
Yeah, it was someone on her team, you know? I mean, hey, just took some elbow grease and clean living. People noticed. Sure. Let's roll up our sleeves and apply a little elbow grease.
Great.
So I'm gonna get my favorite pen and I will see you momentarily.
Why no mask? I mean, not to tell you how to do your vigilante ink, but the grease paint thing, it's a poor identity concealer.
So find me a mask that conforms perfectly to my face and doesn't affect my ability to aim while I'm on the run.
This is my friend, Dr. Isles.
You can call me Maura. I don't mind a little grease.
What's, a little grease between friends? Mom's car died.
The criminal database.
No problem. Might take a day or 2 for sequencing.
Grease it. I mean, it's a priority.
Sure.
No way. You're not getting grease on Norma. What? It was my mother's name.
Intersection. Intersection.
Intersection.
Intersection. Intersection.
This call pinged off the tower and was routed to a payphone in Brooklyn. Intersection of Plymouth and Gold.
Wow.
I like what he's saying, Claire.
He isn't saying anything. We need a stop sign at our intersection. Intersection.
Everyone says that, but pretty soon we're stopping at every single corner.
Now, the driver of the truck says it looked to him like he may have been chasing a guy on a motorcycle when he ran out into the intersection. The intersection.
If he was chasing somebody, why wasn't he pursuing him in the car?
We need to head into those areas with the most precipitation.
So make a right at the next intersection. It should be Pawnee Road.
A message.
For 8 years, you beat her down to where she could barely look up. But when my sister saw at that intersection, Cindy knew. She knew I would come for her.
It looks like Paul Hicks might have gone there after his doctor's appointment.
Now, what was at the intersection where Deaver and Ellard crossed?
That's a shopping center with a dozen or so businesses. We're getting a list right now.
Sorry, yeah, but Dad, you have to hear this story. We just pulled up at an intersection, and there were these two hot girls. I don't want to hear it.
Get on my business, maybe do some traveling.
Maybe spend a little time at the intersection of right leg and left leg, if you know what I'm saying.
Sadly, Carl, I always know what you're saying.
We got 100 people in and out of here. It's a huge intersection. We don't have one witness.
Once you drive in, it's just you, your vehicle, and automated equipment for 6 minutes.
Oh my God! Mom! Oh, this is such a dangerous intersection. Did I get lipstick on my face? No, you're fine. And
Glimmer.
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 We all need something to help us get through the night. Even if it's just the tiniest glimmer, glimmer, glimmer of hope.
It turns out she didn't do it.
Tell me there's at least a glimmer of light at the end of this tunnel.
Okay. We know that Danny's killer is a woman.
Maybe you can go at it from a different angle. Like, you see a glimmer of goodness, a glimmer of goodness, a glimmer of goodness in him. And you only said what you said because you want to nurture it and make it shine.
His last good Valentine's Day was in high school with you. I'm telling you, there's still a glimmer of hope there.
That's never gonna happen, but thank you for trying.
Second chance. His borderline personality disorder makes him overvalue certain relationships, thank Mom and Dad for that, and one glimmer of belief from an authority figure like Whitehall, well, hail Hydra.
Hey, so Mr. Whitman doesn't look good? No sign of any artifact?
Not even a glimmer.
What's up with his hand?
we're getting to the part where Katniss releases the tracker jackers that kill Glimmer.
Dinner in the kitchen if you want.
When it's good, man, you're laughing a lot, you're screwing a lot. The world, like, glimmers with promise.
But I can't make any promises. Oh, I don't want any promises. Just engage with Rousseau, you know, give him a glimmer of good fortune. Ah, right.
Esteem.
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 Esteem. Esteem.
Hi. Abby Russell. And you must be the esteemed Dr. Larry Cook.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
The wife of the esteemed Peter Florrick? Your husband and I never quite saw eye to eye, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Now, a small token of my esteem. I'll come straight to the point. Our esteemed lead driver, Pity fucking Poldy, has ditched us for another team at the last minute.
I am a federal marshal. They can't stop me.
I was an esteemed psychiatrist from a respected family.
You don't misunderstand me. I hold you in the highest possible esteem, and tomorrow I am prepared to tell the world as much.
Excuse me.
A fashion designer.
Dressing well boosts self-esteem. Self-esteem promotes productivity. Productivity rebuilds civilization.
What my esteemed colleague was trying to say in his own way is that we are obsolete.
Testify here today. I called the esteemed Friar Torquemada as a voice of morality.
I'd like to welcome an old friend, esteemed author and FBI agent David Rossi.
Not if our esteemed governor has anything to say about it. He's amping security, x-ray scanners, the whole nine.
Secondary school, which, as I'm sure you know, is a highly esteemed feeder school to some of the finest Ivy League universities in the country.
Erupt.
Erupt.
Erupt. Erupt.
Erupt.
We made a baking soda volcano.
And you made it erupt? And you made it erupt? And you made it erupt?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
We put baking soda and then we put vinegar and then it exploded.
But the spirit world doesn't cause the earth to erupt.
to erupt, to erupt. Or cause the sea to rise up in a tsunami.
A fire. A huge fire just erupted. Just erupted. Just erupted.
The outcast. The mean girls. The rage that erupts in a telekinetic attack.
Volcano. What if the volcano erupts? Oh, I check for seismic activity. Amanda wants. Try anything this place erupts. After the exchange, Amanda's not gonna stick around.
Last supervolcano that erupted was 75,000 years ago. Triggered an ice age.
The third molar has not fully erupted.
Volcanic. It erupts hot on the breath.
Anthem.
Anthem. Anthem. Anthem.
Anthem.
Now, please rise for our national anthem. National anthem. National anthem.
Oh my God, oh my God.
He politely promises a speech the next night and requests that the band play the Confederate anthem. Confederate anthem. Confederate anthem. He asks them to play Dixie.
No, he can't be your boy. He's my boy.
2 Chainz is the man. He sings my anthem. My anthem. My anthem.
We represent the Lollipop Guild.
The Oakland A's, the first pitch is just moments away. We'll come back with the national anthem. Don't leave us now. Opening day is upon us.
Make so bold as to ask you how you've done well since we were on them marshes.
At your face. Will you choke up a little? Probably when they play the national anthem. No, move your hands up the bat.
I was born this way.
Are you really throwing a gay anthem in our face right now?
Damn it, give me some credit. You know how far I've come.
Inspiration of our future. It's the Pakistani national anthem.
Star Spangled Banner.
Okay. Does it have to be our national anthem?
What else would it be?
Oh, sick.
Flaunt.
Flaunt. Flaunt. Flaunt. Flaunt.
And she flaunted it in my face, in front of everyone.
Just these are uncertain times.
Or should I flaunt it in Lorenzo?
Stick pictures of herself. Girl was not afraid to flaunt what God gave her at all.
Thanks, Garcia.
And I'm soon to find out how.
So what, you bring him here to flaunt him in front of me and Emily, hoping to stir something up?
If you got it, flaunt it.
She has been flaunting how much they spend on her house and her car and her jewelry, and this is my turn to flaunt. And I can't flaunt with a free piano.
You live conservatively. It would be considered declassé to flaunt your wealth.
Me too. Out of deference to them, let's not flaunt our happy relationship.
Alex.
Oh, it's okay for you all to flaunt your relationships and your rings and your happy little lives just because you're married?
He's dead.
Master Killer always flaunted his kills like he was untouchable.
Paradise.
Paradise.
Paradise. Paradise.
Paradise.
You're overwhelmed right now. Like, why would we go to Hawaii? Why?
Because you're a princess and you deserve to get married in paradise. Paradise. Paradise.
This time tomorrow, I'll be in a tropical paradise, surrounded by the ones I love. It's going to be...
My dream is dead. Paradise lost. Paradise lost. Paradise lost.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Mrs. Bueller. It's a fool's paradise. He is just leading you down the primrose path.
I can't believe it.
You go. This stinking paradise ain't got no arms for you, boy. Go, boy.
Why isn't Andrew here? Trouble in paradise?
You're a peach.
And they're all tied up.
Asking me, I'm great.
Oh my sweet bird of paradise, what is that smell? Is that you?
Gates of paradise.
Locked and bolted to sinners like us.
Yeah, well, let's not wait for an invitation. Trouble in paradise?
New moon, visibility good. Another day in paradise.
Trouble in paradise?
We have to get to Trenton.
Trouble in paradise.
Paradise comes at a price, Mr. Maine. You pull the strings.
Huddle. Huddle.
Huddle.
Huddle. Huddle.
Huddle up, everybody. Huddle up, everybody. Huddle up, everybody. Your mother's right. She's the quarterback of this room. Luke, Manny, bring it in. Come on, huddle up. Huddle up. Huddle up. Football.
It's Sandy time! Huddle up, huddle up, huddle up, gang! 2 things. 1, somebody stole a very expensive bottle of wine from my office.
So much for the head wound. Duesenberg's off the hook. He didn't die from a fall. Let's huddle together, divvy up the interviews.
What did kill him? Poison.
What were you and Cho and Torque huddled about?
Nothing special.
I had it under control. And then, without consulting anyone, completely outside the huddle, you made this deal. And that was a mistake.
No doubt you and David Estes have already huddled about this mess.
What's going on?
Nothing specific yet, but the top brass huddle every single day now.
So there we were, huddled under this broken umbrella, and he just kissed me. It was so romantic.
The hideout. I was clearing my stomach outside the alibi. I found her huddled by the dumpster.
So, you dumped her on us.
We're giving her a home to...
Memento. Memento. Memento.
Memento.
Memento.
Honey, can you take a picture of me and Mr. Soto? It'd be such a nice memento of the evening. Memento of the evening. Memento of the evening.
Oh, yes, that would be nice. He's your...
Can we put this stuff somewhere else? It's cluttering up my room. What is it? Oh, just some mementos of mine. Oh, just some mementos of mine. Oh, just some mementos of mine.
A few of your dad's.
Oh, Zima.
But she wouldn't tell me what had happened.
Kristen had something hidden in her apartment. Memento, I guess.
Lover's memento.
Cavalieri had found it, but...
Memento mori. Memento mori. Memento mori. Memento mori. Memento mori. Memento mori.
What? I mean, didn't you used to have some ugly-ass memento thing from Argentina right there? Chile, actually. Same thing. Different.
Maybe even my whole life. It's too late for us to have the magical night I was hoping for, but it's not too late for us to have a memento what might have been. I'll be waiting.
I'm not selfish. I merely thought while we were here, I might as well nick an old memento or two.
Well, yes. Coincidentally, all the gold ones weren't charming.
Zoe's crime scene had its own memento. A glove whose rolled cuff preserved the gunshot residue after she shot herself. Is there anything else you want to take? A memento or something?
Doom.
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 Why did you stay with me all those years when you knew that we were doomed? Doomed. And she said...
Up in that meadow.
Why isn't the queen doing anything?
If anything happened to her, everything's going to rot. We're doomed. We're doomed. Get a hold of yourself. Oops. Sorry.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
We're doomed.
When the time comes, I'm gonna have to cut off one of your stubby little fingers to throw this thing to Mount Doom.
What?
It's an omen.
What's it an omen of?
Impending doom.
I have a great idea.
What's that?
Shut up!
I'll think about it.
I don't know. Maybe we were doomed from the beginning. I mean, it's not like Dad was Mr. Sunshine. And we are doomed.
Appears. And just when he's about to resign himself to his miserable, doomed fate, we allow the son of a bitch to escape with his life.
To either one of us, and short of telling him the truth and sealing his doom, we've done everything we could to try and get through to him.
All right, I'll take the Doom watch. You go be with Mira. I'll call you if anything happens tonight.
dull,
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 dull.
You stand those English department gatherings. What could be more dull, dull, dull?
Sometimes you make sacrifices for the person you've been living with for 10 years.
Gig? No articles. My life's pretty dull. It's pretty dull. It's pretty dull. I guess the only news is...
Roman, it is going to be so dull for you to sit and watch them skate.
Yes, why don't you go to the petting zoo? Will you stay for the barber chef's ball, Anna?
Oh, I always feel down at a ball.
Steve-o.
Front, please. And I know it's the last day, but if we could just keep it to a dull roar, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
The old, mine were just dull.
Still on that. Look at Saul.
That guy's so dull. So bland. You don't like him, do you?
Usually just dull stuff, like old ladies smuggling perfume.
Well, maybe dull is good.
Michael J. Fox is a delight, no?
Oh, Olivier, I gotta say, never a dull moment.
Much, all right? I need to dull my thoughts or I will be eviscerated by the... I would have thought that you would have understood that by now!
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Wasn't dull.
oversee,
oversee, oversee, oversee,
Oversee.
More than 1 million American servicemen to oversee the occupation, to oversee the occupation, to oversee the occupation for years to come.
Station, volunteers will oversee distribution and oversee distribution and oversee distribution, ensuring no one goes hungry.
Around this guy, I will personally oversee his campaign. Personally oversee his campaign. Personally oversee his campaign.
I didn't. He served R.D. Warner at the Excelsior Hotel. He oversees operations for the entire White House. You make quite an impression.
I don't recall.
And unlike other charities, you'll be able to personally oversee how your contribution is delivered.
Jesus.
I'll call Holly and have her oversee the catering.
I promise we can figure this out.
This...
You will oversee the eviction. After that, and for as long as it takes, I want eyes upon Raiden every minute.
Sir, I fully recognize that I failed in my duty to oversee Jane's behavior.
Stop. Desperate for answers. You experienced any symptoms, or does someone else oversee these sessions?
Necessary equipment. But we will not oversee the patient's recovery. After the transplant, you will take him to a hospital.
When I burned. For an overlord to personally oversee ground forces is atypical of Ishveni tactics.
sack,
sack, sack,
sack,
Sack.
Have to sack to step up and take what's yours. If you don't trust me...
Jeez, he went down like a sack of potatoes, huh?
If anybody ever sees this, I'll rip your nutsack off. I'll rip it right off.
Okay.
Gonna know.
Oh, I wasn't gonna know.
Go into a little plastic sack and get thrown into the trash.
Exactly.
Crow, welcome, all you people of the night. All you maniacs, brainiacs, and insomniacs who won't hit the sack. Let's open up the phone lines and hear what's on your mind.
After the final cleaning, we imbibe 1 sub-sack, then return to our sleep box. That is a blueprint of every single day.
You are. Of course. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I do know my way around a hacky sack.
If it were up to me, you'd be headed home in a cargo plane with a sack over your head.
Fire.
Who's shutting his wine sack?
For when you tax a crime, you make it a commodity.
Baby arm, insane in the sack. Plus, when she grabbed my dick with her little hand, it looked gigantic.
I know you're faking it. Come on, open your eyes, you lying squirrely sack.
given, given,
given,
given, given.
First day in my new home, and I'm given this horrible note with threats.
Oh, our estate auction? Yeah, I think I heard something about that. But honestly, Daddy, I haven't given it a second thought. As a kid, people told you everything you did was amazing, didn't they?
I was given a lot of positive reinforcement. I think it gave me the confidence that's gotten me through this last year.
The Emperor has given Liu Kang 1 month to master the skills of manhood.
1 month?
Core of your being. You can't just sacrifice who you are for me.
Yes, I've given my life to honor. And it's left me tired, cranky, and alone.
It doesn't make you angry. They were given our birthright, gifted a paradise. This earth, these bodies. And
Look, I don't know why these markings were given to me, or what they mean.
Did they ever nail the murdering son of a...
McPherson was given 5 consecutive life sentences and banished from the warehouse.
Given your proclivity to appendicitis, I really still think we should remove it again.
What do you want with me? I've given you lots of chances to be a better Larry, and you've blown everyone.
If our victim's 25 years old, I'd assume he was mentally slow.
Given the complexity of his novels, I'd estimate his IQ to be higher than yours.
This woman was mulched in an elevator shaft. Given her condition, I'm impressed with your work.